All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachak double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting a good fight of faith and truth, in sincerity and wholeheartedly. And shalom to the Akwath, which is the women believers. Shalom to you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Now, the pride of these devils, man. And, this video is short. Get a few scriptures. And the thing is that the beautiful thing about us knowing the truth, we know the end game. These devils always boasting about what they gonna do. Well, prophecy say otherwise. And that's what we gonna get into today. But this Iran and Strait of Hormuz and the United States and Israel, which is all leading to the big shabanga bang World War III. So, but this video I love because, see, the scripture says this. Because these devils been boasting, and nobody's more proud than Donald Trump. Oops, let's do it like this. It said, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. A haughty spirit, which is a proud spirit, before a fall. So you're gonna listen to what this devil had to say. So they just keep talking about what they gonna do. Now, when you go over to Proverbs 18, I think 12, let me see. Yep. Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. You already know these devils don't got nothing honorable in them. They was created to be wicked from the womb. All right. So before destruction, the heart of man is haughty. These devils is proud. They don't even understand that the Lord got them in a trick bag. All right. And I got one more before the video play. This is in the NLT. It said, anyone who loves to quarrel, loves sin, always in something. Like the scripture said, he neither keepeth at home. Anyone who trusts in high walls invites disaster. See, these devils military, have been the strongest. But now it's on the weak side. And now, as it say in Joel 3:10, let the weak say, I'm strong. The weak is strong now, and you are getting weaker. In verse 20, it said, the crooked heart will not prosper. The lying tongue tumbles into trouble. And that's all these devils is doing. But let's listen up.
Every American should watch this. I think it's going to fail. What happens next? I spent 4.5 hours with President Trump Friday. Here's what I think will happen next. If this deal fails, President Trump is going to take the Strait of Hormuz over by force. The United States will control the Strait of Hormuz. We'll charge a fee for all those who go through to pay for the operation. And we're going to expand the Abraham Accords in calendar year 2026. We're going to get Saudi Arabia to join the Abraham Accords, and which is the biggest change in 5,000 years in the Mideast. And
the Abraham Accords is basically diplomatic relations between Israel and the Arab states, which is not going to happen. But they think so. But they think that they could just take over the Middle East, like they're saying, get control over the international waters, and then put tariffs on everybody else. The scripture says that you lose in the end. The scripture says that the Arab nations is going to come together and fight against you. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Where are you at, King James? Jeez. Come on now, I'm always in the King James. Where you at? I guess I got to do it like this then. So yeah. 2nd Ezra 15:28. And remember, Russia haven't even got involved yet. Remember, as it say in Ezekiel 38 in verse 4 down to 7, it talks about Russia being a guard unto these nations, and the first nation that was mentioned was Persia. All right, so yeah, prophecy is not on your side. Let's see if I do it like this. Messing up right now. So it says, behold, a horrible vision in the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, and all they which hear them may fear and tremble. That don't sound like you gonna be conquering them and putting tariffs on them. Sound like you gonna be on the run. It says also the Carmanians, which is Iran. All right. This was their name back in the 1930s, if I'm not mistaken. But you can look it up. It said, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them. See, they're gonna come together. Ishmael, Elam. All right, so-called Arabs, so-called, Iran, India, the East Indians. All right, and shall waste a portion of the land of Syrians, because they're gonna shoot missiles on this place. All right, and it ain't just gonna be them. So yeah,
on contest control of the Strait of Hormuz by the United States will obliterate them. So to all the people
that say he's gonna obliterate them, but they're gonna obliterate you. All right, because as the famous scripture go in Jeremiah 49:20, the least of the flock already have drawn you out. All right, and when you read verse 21 and 22, it said there was a cry heard in the Red Sea, which means that that's your destruction. See, you are not the big bad wolf anymore. You are not the big bad wolf that you think you are.
If this diplomatic effort fails, President Trump is going to take the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah. We're going to run it.
First, they told us we had to go in and open the Strait of Hormuz. That was the big emergency, right? Except it was already open before this war started. Shipping was moving. Oil was flowing. Iran wasn't blockading the world until we began dropping bombs. Now, after all the tough talk and repeated claims that we've destroyed the IRGC Navy 100 times, suddenly the strait is a problem again? And if the peace talks fail, the plan is we're going to seize it by force, take it over, and charge every ship a king's ransom and fees? If Iran complains, we'll obliterate them? Lindsey Graham says this like it's some brilliant masterstroke. I'm sure after 4.5 hours in the room with Trump, he came out ready to expand the Abraham Accords while America plays global toll booth.
So the point is that all talk. Let's say we hear in the next coming months that America, did something. I don't know. Let's say that they bombed Iran and it got really, really bad. And then all of a sudden, the Strait of Hormuz is in America's hands. Let's say that, okay? What do prophecy say? Because prophecy is the conclusion of everything. Now, according to the scriptures, it did say that victual shall be so good cheap upon the earth that people think themselves to be in a good case. But then, the sword, famine, and destruction and great confusion is going to follow. Because remember, the end game is to put microchips in everybody and to control every facet of your life. That's the cherry on top. But war will be going on at this time. Jacob's trouble will be going on at this time. Mark of the beast will going on at this time. That's why the Lord said he's going to have to shorten the days. It's going to be so much going on. But let's stick to the topic of the video. All right. I just want to get into it. I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to, if you new to the truth, just stick to prophecy that you don't be confused. And also stick to prophecy that your hopes remain. All right. Because when these devils talk, they're always going to talk like they're going to win. And they're not going to win. That's not prophecy. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth? It used to be cut asunder and broken. How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee. This is one of the snares. How the small hats have brought you out to the Middle East, and now you can't get out of it. Every time that you try to get a piece, the Lord put the spirit on Bibi, all right, the Israelis, all right, to go start some shit with Iran again, and Iran be like, F the deal, okay? And then they start bombing each other again, all right? So I have laid a snare for thee, and you are also taken, O Babylon, and you was not aware. You are found and also caught because you have striven against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. This whole infrastructure goes against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. He's really trying to get the blessing that's not even his. And he's trying to take the blessing. But what people don't understand, because that's where everything leads to, if you didn't know. What people don't understand is that everything that he's doing, he's trying to get the birthright back, which was never his in the first place. That's why he sold his birthright in Genesis 25 and 31. And then 2 chapters over, the plot twist played out because it's the Lord's movie. He's theater. All right. How our forefather Isaac was going to bless him, but he was losing. Our forefather Isaac lost his sight. So his mom told Jacob, I just heard your father say he's going to bless, Esau. He went to go send Esau out there to go fetch him some venison. All right. So I'm going to need you to go, put some hair on your arms and, go put on one of his garments where you can smell outside. You can smell like outside. And yeah, the Lord and your father going to bless you. And that's what happened. But 2 things happened. Number 1, that's the plot twist. That's the theater of the Lord. And number 2 is that Yaiquab, that's actually what it means, supplant. So Jacob had to fulfill his name. Every name means something. Okay. And hey, here we are. But this devil trying to put microchips in everybody and link them to a machine, that he can be God. He think he can attain Godhead through his artificial intelligence. That's all this is. So it says, I have laid a snare for thee, and you are also taken, O Babylon, and you was not aware. You are found and also caught because you have striven against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Yahweh have opened up his armory, that is the missiles. He and have brought forth the weapon of his indignation. This is the missiles. For this is the work of the Lord of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans come against her. That's the nations from the utmost border. From the other side of the world, open her storehouses, the missiles, cast her up as heaps and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. That's scripture. It's so many scriptures on that. All right.
Operator halfway around the world. Let me ask the obvious question. If it was immoral and outrageous for Iran to threaten control or fees on their own doorstep, how exactly is it heroic for us to seize the strait and start taxing everyone? Who benefits from America becoming the world's most expensive naval security service for Chinese?
They do. Okay. But the point is that let's say if they are able to do this, it's going to be very short-lived. That's why we in the prophecy, all right? So I'm going to end it on this because this is really what it is. It's his pride. His pride. So it says the terribleness have deceived thee. So your terribleness, which is the fear that you put on the nations at one point in time. See, you forgot about prophecy, Joel 3 and 10, as I quoted. Now the weak is strong. So it says, in the pride of your heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though you shouldest make your nest as high as the eagle, I will bring you down from thence, saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. I just did a video on, how they got data centers orbiting the earth now. They already got satellites. So it says, also Edom shall be as a desolation. Everyone that goeth by shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof them, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah. This is why in Revelation 11:8, the great city which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, and the neighbor cities, all of them, okay, all the cities of Babylon the Great gonna be destroyed. thereof, saith Yahweh Bashim Shai, no man shall abide there, neither shall the Son of Man dwell in it. That's only two set of scriptures that prophesy the destruction of Esau, Edom, his kingdom, which is Babylon the Great, also known as America. All right. And then it's also other scriptures where they go into captivity. But that's not for this type of video. All right. But I just wanted to highlight how, the pride of his heart, it's deceiving him. And that's just the Lord hardening his heart. And the Lord is going to be the one that put the icing on the cake. And the missiles is going to be the cherry on top. Because that's going to be happening simultaneously. As it say in Isaiah 66:15, the Lord going to plead with men by fire. All right. He's going to plead. Matter of fact, let's end it on that. So the Lord going to be shooting, fire from the chariots, and the missiles is going to be hitting this place. So it said, for behold, Yahweh Bashim Shai will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebukes with flame of fire. For by fire and by his word, by his sword, Slakia, will Yahweh Bashim Shai plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh Bashim Shai should be many. Okay, so yes, that's sweet Jesus you talking about. Well, that's sweet Jesus on his return. Okay, which his name is Yahweh Shai. So all praises to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Seek ye out the Lord while he may be found, and Shalom.